3-ton bomb, old design, new battlefield, and suddenly the front line shakes again. Russia brings back weight, massive, brutal, psychological, not precision warfare, pressure warfare, not speed, shock. The FAB-3000 drops, trenches collapse, positions vanish. But behind the blast, a deeper question emerges. Is this dominance through mass, or a signal that modern options are running thin? Ukraine adapts fast. Drones, mobility, dispersed defense, yet heavy bombs change tempo, change fear, change decisions on the ground. So tonight we analyze the real impact, strategy, battlefield reality, and the truth behind the return of one of Russia's heaviest aerial weapons. Frontline, eastern Ukraine, static trenches, hardened positions, weeks of attrition, then sudden escalation. Russian aircraft move in from standoff distance, high altitude, short exposure window. One objective: deliver maximum destructive pressure on fixed defensive zones. The FAB-3000 is not subtle. It is designed for area devastation, bunkers, trench networks, supply nodes. Shockwave first, fragmentation next. Psychological impact always follows. Reports describe reinforced positions collapsing under blast force, defensive lines forced to relocate, units dispersing to avoid secondary strikes. Not a precision elimination, but a terrain-changing event. Ukraine responds quickly. Air defense activation, electronic warfare monitoring, drone reconnaissance tracking post-strike damage. Adaptation remains constant, mobility over static defense. But the message from the strike is clear. Russia is attempting to reshape the battlefield through sheer explosive mass, forcing defenders to rethink concentration, logistics, and frontline structure. Then comes the bigger signal, not just the strike. Production, scale, sustainability. Russian defense industry begins accelerating output of heavy unguided bombs. FAB series munitions return to center stage, old stockpiles refurbished, new manufacturing cycles reportedly expanded. Why mass production? Because quantity reshapes tempo. More bombs, more pressure on static defenses, lower cost compared to precision missiles, higher frequency of strikes, paired with glide kit modifications, extended range, reduced aircraft exposure, a shift from rare heavy bombardment to repeated operational use. Strategic messaging is unmistakable. Russia aims to maintain long-term strike capacity without exhausting high-end missile reserves. Industrial warfare, attrition through production lines, not just battlefield maneuvers. Ukraine adapts again. Dispersed fortifications, rapid trench rebuilding, increased camouflage. Drone surveillance used to anticipate strike preparation zones. The battlefield becomes a contest not only of weapons, but of factories, logistics chains, and industrial endurance. Now, back to the present moment. The latest strike changes the rhythm again. Frontline sectors near fortified zones absorb another heavy blast wave. Not a precision duel, a pressure tactic, shock, collapse of cover, forced relocation within minutes. Recon drones detect pre-strike patterns, short flight windows, fast release, immediate withdrawal. Air defenses react, but timing is everything. Seconds decide survival. Reports describe damaged trench networks, temporary gaps in defensive layering, units forced into rapid repositioning under constant surveillance. This is the operational logic. Heavy bombs soften terrain. Follow-up artillery tests response speed. Ground probes search for weak points, not breakthroughs yet, but pressure points. Ukraine responds with dispersion. Smaller units, flexible fallback lines, counter-battery radar scanning launch zones, electronic warfare attempting to blind incoming coordination. The strike itself is not the end game. It is a signal, a reminder that industrial firepower still shapes the battlefield. even in a drone-dominated war. Behind every heavy bomb is not just production, but delivery. And delivery defines survival. Most FAB-3000 strikes rely on modified Russian strike aircraft, primarily Su-34 fullback and occasionally Su-35S, operating in a support escort role. The Su-34 is chosen for one reason: payload and range. Heavy lift capability, long endurance. Ability to launch from safer standoff distances using glide kit modifications. Modern tactics avoid deep penetration. Aircraft climb briefly, release from distance, turn away immediately. Exposure window minimized to seconds, reducing risk from Ukrainian air defense systems like Patriot, NASAMS, and Iris-T. This is no longer classic bombing runs, it is calculated exposure, high altitude, short time on target. Rapid exit corridors protected by electronic warfare and escort fighters. The aircraft is not the star, it is the carrier of industrial firepower, a moving launch platform within a layered air strategy. War is no longer just about territory. It's about production speed, delivery systems, and battlefield adaptation. The FAB-3000 is not just a bomb, it's a signal that heavy industrial warfare is still evolving in real time. Mass production meets modern glide tactics, old weapons, new methods, and a battlefield that keeps changing faster than headlines can follow. But every strike tells two stories: military impact and the shifting balance between offense and defense across Ukraine's front lines. On TRX Update, we don't chase noise, we track patterns, we break down strategy, and we analyze what happens after the explosions fade. Because in modern war, the real story is not just what hits, but what changes next. Stay sharp, stay informed. This is TRX Update.